Well, guys, I'm sorry that I I haven't been able to do this video until now. I am pleading with everybody in Hallsville, everybody in the Longview area. Please be at the City Hall meeting. It's either going to be the 29th or the 30th of this month. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the city of Longview is wanting to give a vote, to give a permit to rezone the area, kind of where Page Road and Loop 281 meet, which is right across the street from a daycare, a full school, and 3 blocks down from the Hallsville Elementary. I'm going to tell you why we must come together as a community and stop this from happening. We have one say and one say only, and it's going to be at that meeting. If you want to look at the old meeting, you can see how the company, every time they were asked a question, they didn't give us numbers. They didn't give us anything. They just basically, said, oh, it's just a little bit of toxins that are going to go into the water. Well, let me tell you something. They admitted that 1 semi-truck per day was coming to bring toxic chemicals. Well, here are just some of the chemicals they use for this biomining facility. Do you understand? This will destroy our water, our animals, our land, and it kills humans. If you look, there is tons of research about this, where biomining facilities have been allowed to open, and they have a 95% mortality rate after they've jumped through the hoops and they've got everything. This is coming from the governor's office down, and they're wanting to open this. They're wanting to put their toxins in our water, but they are not admitting that these toxins will also go in the air and everywhere else. So I'm going to show you something. I know it's a little hard to see, but I posted it on my Facebook page. You can read this in depth, or you can email me. I'll give you a printed out paper, an email, whatever you want. This is just some of the chemicals they're going to be using. Do you see these chemicals? And they are trying to say that only 1 truck full of 1 chemical is coming per day. Well, you can only move 1 chemical in 1 truck. 1 truck holds 2,000 to 6,000 pounds. And then they're telling us that many chemicals are going into this facility, but only a small, minute amount is getting fed into the Longview water system, such a small amount that it will not affect us. Okay, guys, here's some of the chemicals they're going to be using. Do you see this? Now, this isn't a facility that digs in the ground, and so that's why everybody's not uptight about it. They still use plenty of chemicals that are extremely dangerous. They're going to be extracting things from stones, and they're going to be extracting things from old electronics. That is what this is talking about. Do you see all these chemicals? Do you see all of this? Okay, well, guess what? Every one of these chemicals have a deadly outcome to our atmosphere, to our water system, and everything else. You can look up all of this, and I'm sorry about these lines. I wish I could do this better. I'll do another video, okay? Biomining, although environmentally friendlier than traditional mining methods, can still produce toxic byproducts. These byproducts can be harmful if not managed properly. Here are some of the key toxic chemicals and the substances that may be generated during the biomining of old electronics, e-waste, and rocks. Now, here was their argument, okay? The company admitted that there will not be very many changes within the facility. So all the stuff that we're supposed to trust that they do every single day to even halfway make things safe, they said that there's not going to be a lot of changes to the facility, okay? And if they did make these changes, there's still tons of products that they're going to be mixing together with these chemicals, and they have deadly toxic releases in different forms, okay? From biomining of old electronics, e-waste, heavy metals, lead, mercury. Do you see all this? This is a bio-mining of old electronics e-waste. Okay? And they admitted that all of these chemicals are going to be fed into a pipe. Now, when they were asked where that pipe went, this pipe goes into the Longview water supply. All of these cause cancer. Okay, here's another one. Sulfuric acid. Here's another one. Now, all of these, go back. All of these are old electronics e-waste. This is what happens after they do the chemical process. Okay, here we go. See these? This stuff right here is deadly to our air, to our water, to our land, to our animals, and to us. Okay? Heavy metals, arsenic, okay, copper, okay, all of this, residual chemicals from leaching processes, okay? Chemicals, these are all chemicals, okay? Environmental and health impacts. Water contamination, well, guess what? They're feeding it into the Longview water supply, and it will be with the blessings of our mayor and our city council. That is what they're planning on doing. Here is the environmental health impacts. Soil contamination, air pollution, water contamination, soil contamination, air pollution. None of that was addressed in the meeting at all. Okay? These toxin byproducts, this is after the chemical process of the biomining facility. And they're telling us don't get our panties in a wad because biomining is actually not the term. Yes, I'm afraid it is exactly the term, and that's why it is termed that way. Do you see all this? Do you see all of this? Okay. What effects does this have on humans, the air, the water, and our animals? Not to mention, there's tons of cattle around the corner in Hallsville. There's all kinds of farms. There's all kinds of things. The water, even if you don't drink the water, you're going to bathe in it. You're going to water your plants with it. You're going to give your children baths in it. You're going to give your animals baths in it and probably give it to them as water. Health issues from heavy metals. Lead. Oh, let's see what a lead does. Can cause neurological damage, particularly in children. May I remind you, there is a full daycare and a full school across the street from here. 3 blocks down is Hallsville Elementary. And I'm telling y'all, I didn't make this stuff up. Look it up. Look it up for yourself, particularly in children, and affect kidney function. Do you see that? And reproductive health in adults. Do you see that? Okay. This one, exposure can lead to kidney damage, bones hit. All right, increase risk of cancer. Mercury can impair. Same stuff right here. So you know what? Are we going to wait 25 years for the stats to come out for us to figure out that 95% of cancer was raised in our area because we allowed this bio mining facility in our town? I hope to God that you can find a way to get to the city meeting because we need to stop this. If you all do not understand what's going on, our water, our air, our families, our animals, everything is at stake. We will not have proper food to eat because they're going to kill and all these toxins are going to ruin the farms that we have around the corner. It's going to mess up all the plants and everything. Arsenic. Long-term exposure can result in skin lesions, cancer. Let me tell you what, there's 8 to 10 different kinds of cancers all of this cause. Is that $19 million that this facility says that they're bringing? Are you going to give that to somebody who's watching their child and their body to get eaten by cancer? Is that $19 million worth it? Or should we as a community start supporting our local businesses who support us? Instead of trying to bring in a company from the outside who we don't even know who they are not telling us who they are. They're not giving us any stats. They haven't hired anybody who's not been, it's kind of like a contradiction of terms because everybody that they're using, they're getting paid. Okay, there wasn't anybody that knew chemicals about this meeting to tell everybody how dangerous this is. So are we going to bring in a company from the outside and trust them that whatever they put in our water supply, it's not going to hurt us, our air, and our animals? Hell no. You better be at the meeting if you want to save our communities. This is going to destroy the land, the air, the water, and everybody around them. This is serious, guys. Look at this. Read it for yourself. Read it for yourself. Acute exposure can lead to respiratory failure, cardiac arrest. And do you think that they're going to take responsibility for this? Or are we going to wait 25 years down the road and watch everybody die from all this? Watch our air get polluted, watch our animals die and everything else? Or are you going to stand up and take control over our community and say, we are not allowing this in our community, period? Go support the local farmers. Go support those who are growing gardens that are giving us true food to eat. Because everybody who's connected to the Longview water supply and anywhere around there in that facility, it doesn't just come in, it comes in 4 different forms to which that company did not address how they were going to stop that from happening, period. They did not take any responsibility for all of this. Look at this, man. Effects on the air pollution. They did not even address that this was going to be in the air. Because you know what? Their families don't live here. They ain't paying somebody to come up in there and work that they love. They're coming to a Texas community who we have hospitality here, but I'm telling you right now, you better be at that meeting at the Longview City Council, May 29th or the 30th. I don't know if they put it on the docket yet, but you better be there and we better have our say, because I'm telling you right now, this just affects water. Here we go right there. It affects the air. It affects the water. Okay? I'm not blowing gas out my butt, guys. This is our lives we were talking about. This is our air. This is our water. This is our land. It affects animals. Do you know how many people have cattle around this place? And there's a fertilizer company like right next door. The chemicals, if they mix together, is explosive, guys. Sorry, I got all worked up. Here you go. Toxic to wildlife. Habitat destruction. This is what I wanted you to see. Habitat destruction. Mining activities can lead to habitat loss. You see this? You see this? Are you going to allow the Longview City Council to give a permit to rezone Loop 281? I think it's 2102. Write the people that own the building. Send this information to them. Whatever we need to do, guys, you better be there and you better stop this. I'm telling you right now, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. Do you see this? They can accumulate in the tissues of animals. Do you see this? We are talking about destroying, absolutely destroying. And let me go back up to the top, because see, some of y'all think because they ain't digging in the ground that it ain't a big deal. Here you go. Biomining, the process of using microorganisms to extract valuable metals from ores and electronics. That is what they will be doing in this facility. Do you understand? I'm asking you again, please be at the meeting. Contact your councilmen. Contact them and tell them we do not want this facility. We do not want these toxins in our air. We do not want this place to be able to destroy our city, our children, our animals, or nothing else. Call your councilman. Call the mayor. Drop emails. Gather people together. Whatever you need to do, please be there. It's life or death.